Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our live session. Going through to Facebook and for the first time ever to YouTube, apparently, if it's all been set up correctly. So fame at last, or even more fame than going through to the Facebook groups at least. So this is myself, Simon, and Chris, who.
Evening, guys.
Good evening. We are going to be going through basically transitioning to reloads, so moving from sign-up offers to reload offers, various different things that you can look at. It's a really common question. What do I do when I've gone through the sportsbook sign-up list? What's next? And there are some guides, but we'll also go through that. Any questions you've got at all, please do ask them, and we can put them up and we can answer those for you. And it does help to sort of, if we know what it is that you want to ask. Otherwise, we will just waffle on about our own things that we think are the most useful things for you to know. So feel free to ask questions about what we're talking about. Feel free to ask questions about transition to reloads and other things match betting related. So I'm just going to pin these posts and pass it over to Chris. I'll pin them to the Facebook groups.
That's great. Thanks for that, Simon. Evening, morning, afternoon, whatever time that you guys are watching this. Obviously, if it's live, evening to you all. If you're watching the recordings that we post on the forum later on and get a chance to watch them, absolutely great. Yeah, as Simon said, one of the main questions we get asked all the time is that I've done the sign-up offers. What do I do next? And it is a common question that we get asked all the time. And as for us veteran match bettors that have been doing this for, like myself, 4 years plus now, Simon probably a bit longer, and the likes of Andy that have been doing it 7-8 years from there. Obviously, we need to be knowing what to be looking at because we've done all the sign-up offers, and how do we continue to make a profit month on month from match betting, and that's what we'll go through this evening for you guys is what reloads are, the different types of reloads, where you can find them on the site, and the best ways of attacking those reloads. Reloads are anything really from horse racing refund offers that are available with the likes of Sky, Paddy Power, LiveScore, 888 on weekends and sometimes during the week, through to offers that may be emailed out to you of bet £10 on the football and get a £5 free bet, to price boosts that are available as well, which is where the back odds are higher than the lay odds. It's basically an offer that a bookmaker will do to entice you to use them for a specific event. We'll go through best ways of doing those from that side of things. So yeah, any questions that you've got with relation to this or match betting in general, please do ask them, guys. It makes our life so much easier and saves me and Simon just waffling for the sake of waffling, like we have a tendency of doing and have done for about the past 20 minutes while going through before we came live to you guys. So yeah, fire away with the questions, guys, and I'll hand you back to Simon.
We have our first comment. Hello, good evening. Thanks for joining us. So yeah, if you have any questions, please do ask. But we're going to pile in and sort of basically introduce what I would suggest to do once you've finished your sign-up offers. Now, you don't have to finish your sign-up offers before you move on to reload offers. It's not mandatory. It's not essential to do that. If there were certain offers that maybe strike fear into you for any reason, for me, it was the 10-bet offer because they always have a lot of wagering involved in it. And I thought it's a nice value offer, but I'm going to leave that because there's a lot of wagering involved. So I left that literally for 2 years and moved on to reload offers. But I did go back to it eventually. And so, yeah, by all means, don't finish all of the sign-up offers if you don't want to. It's always good to have these different accounts open. But you could go to reload offers early, especially if you've got something like, let's say you've opened a few accounts and you've got one account with, let's say, Bet365, and they've got a really good offer on free bet offer. By all means, go and do that before finishing all the other signups. Goes without saying, really. So, but when you're ready to go to reload offers, the place to start is the aptly named transitioning to reloads offer, which I will share screen. and I will show you where this is. Okay, so that should be going through, and basically, if you go to just Outplayed site, and one of the tabs is Reload Offers. That's where the reload offers are. But let's have a look. You will find the transition to reloads basically under the reload offers. So transition to reloads, the top one here. And we'll also talk about the top sports reloads of the day and the top casino reloads of the day. Now, sports reload offers are available to everybody, whether you're platinum or diamond members. Casino reloads are just for diamond members. So it's slightly more expensive subscription for that one. I always recommend people to start with just sports, unless you particularly want to go into casino. The casino offers are great, and some people just really like to sort of get stuck into those at the same time. But to be honest, there's plenty to be getting on with just with the sports reloads, getting a hang of those. There's loads of profit to be made from them. So yeah, first step would be obviously the transitioning to reloads. Have a look through it. There's a nice video there, and a nice write-up. Always a good idea with any of the offers to watch the video and also to read what's written down here. Sometimes, because obviously the videos take longer to update than a bit of text, if there's anything that's changed, then the text will be much more likely to be up to date than the videos. The videos will be fine, but there may be a few little tweaks, little additions that have been made to the offer. Particularly the case with offers that are written up. By all means, watch the video. It may well be the offer still exactly the same as that, but it might have changed a little bit. So do have a look at the text with any offer that you get that's got a video, just to check what it actually says there. So yeah, basically, we've got reload offers. Basically, it tells you what they are. They could also be called existing customer offers. It's probably a more straightforward name for them. They're offers for existing customers of bookmakers, basically, as simple as that. And it's where the vast majority of profits come from with match betting. Obviously, you can only do the sign-up offers once. They're worth about £500-ish if you do all of those, but you can only do those once. So after that, you would have loads of bookmaker accounts open, maybe 30, 40, even 50 bookmaker accounts. They often have reload offers that are worth doing. So if you move on to those ones, because you might have one reload offer per week, you can do a weekly bet club with a certain bookie. They might do other offers as well, certain events, certain days. So there's a lot of ongoing profit because you can obviously do these reload offers. We do one, then do another with the same bookmaker. So it does say, we have some members making more than 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 pounds a year. That is, to be fair, on the high side. Most people won't be making that much money. But it's possible if you do certain offers and approach it in a certain way. Large bankroll, as it says, they're probably multi-accounted, which we can't really talk about. But if you hear people making huge amounts of money per year or per month, the likelihood is that they've got more than one set of accounts, which obviously we can't go into because it's a bit of a legal grey area. But it is possible to make more than £1,000 a month with one set of accounts, depending on which offers you do. So there's plenty to be found from this. So more about reloads there, basically some writing to read. And then there's a link to the top reloads of the day, which, as it says, updated around 11 o'clock each day. Could be earlier, but it's around 11 o'clock. It's often updated about 10, I think. They're normally pretty on the ball with it. Basically, it's updated not right at the start of the day because we want to make sure that most of the offers have come through for the day. And so if you see yesterday's date, basically, this is obviously today's. If you were to see Tuesday, the 4th of July, it meant that they hadn't updated it yet because this is the day we're broadcasting it on, the 5th of July. Weekly bet clubs are a really nice place to start. It's often quite similar to the sign-up offers, as lots of the reload offers are. They're often quite different as well, but some of them are pretty similar. So some nice bet and get offers. And these are available every week. It always tells you when the range is, when the offers are available, and there are instructions with each of them as well. So plenty of ongoing offers there, and some accumulator offers as well. A little bit more complicated, but you've got the Smart Gets Acca feature, which really helps out with that one. Price boosts are another good source of income. Look at a bit more detail at those later. And then we move on to the offers that are available, for a particular time. Could be a particular tournament. It could be a particular day. There are certain offers. And again, if you go down there, we've got plenty of offers that are available. These are just the offers, the top ones for today. It's going to cover most of the offers, not necessarily every single offer that there is. Horse racing refunds are kind of a big group all by itself. Extra places are more advanced. As it says, advanced. You should be really comfortable doing horse racing refunds before even considering doing horse racing extra places. And then you've got 2-up offers, which again are a bit more advanced. Probably not as advanced as the horse racing extra places. I'd say they're not. Different ways to approach them, but again, more advanced than the regular sort of reloads. And then casino offers as well. And there's a little link to the diamond. That's for me for later on.
Well, you're talking about weekly bet clubs there, Simon. I mean, one of the other questions that we seem to get asked, well, I know Andy certainly gets asked on the Facebook group, is that where you've got someone like Paddy's weekly bet club of do 5 £10 bets and get a £10 free bet. Obviously, there's so many ways to do that. And the best ways of doing it are through the horse racing refund offers, because that'll be minimum of a £10 bet. They'll do that. So you're getting not only the offer of the horse racing refund, you're also going towards your bet club side of things as well. Sometimes they'll have two races during the week for that. So bonus from that side of things. You've got two hits at it. Doing your price boosts through them as well. So price boosts we'll talk about in a bit more detail later on with regards to price boosts and the different ways and best ways of doing that side of things. So even if there's 3 price boosts and 2 refund races, that's your bet club covered, as well as picking up the 5 other offers. But the main thing as well is that with regards to account health, which is something that we really do talk about, and Andy and I think it was Oz that talked about a couple of weeks ago, did the video about preventing gubbins, and best way from that is that don't just do the minimum 5 bets, get 7, 8 in there. So you're going under the radar a little bit with regards to that. But if you get in 5 price boosts on where you're making a guaranteed profit from it, and 2 horse racing refunds where you can lock in profit for it, or you can do the myself and Andy way of backlay and hope. That's seven bets that you've made with guaranteed profit from the price boost and getting the £10 free bet on top. So it's a win-win situation with regard to that side of things. So it's been a little bit clever and a little bit smart of incorporating offers that are already there to benefit from this other offer that's available as well.
Yeah, I mean, I do something as well. When I had a Paddy account, I think they'd messed up they gubbed me and they messed it up. So I was able to go back and check later, and it was just like, oh, I can still do the bet club. So I came back to doing that again for quite a few weeks on my gubbed account, which apparently wasn't properly gubbed. But what I decided to do is, as you say, Chris, I'd do more than the 5 bets, and I'd also do things like, if there was, I would do some of the bets at like £15 bets, for example, or maybe a £20 bet, for a relatively small qualifying loss, but just to mix it up a little bit. So it didn't look like I was just doing bet 10, absolute minimum. It was just like, oh, I just happened to be qualifying for it. Whether or not that sort of, inverted commas, clever approach actually works for them, it just seemed a bit more natural for me. Let's say if I was going for a higher odds bet, for a cash bet, I might go for a £10 stake. If I was going for one at lower odds, obviously it still needs to be 2 or greater, I might go for £15. It just seemed a bit more sort of natural with it. Obviously take a bigger qualifying loss doing these extra bets, or the higher stakes, let's say £15 rather than 10. But ultimately, it's trying to stay under the radar a little bit. So just trying to think about that.
There's a perfectly apt question that's come in just at the right time with that. Hi guys, for the bet clubs, are they free to sign up to, or are they a subscription? The bet clubs are part of the bookmakers a lot of them you have to opt in to the Bet Club to start off with. Sky's one is a little bit different to most because you've got some options there of what free bet or free spins that you wish to take from that side of things. I think they've got about 4 or 5 different options there now with regards to it. I think one's a £5 free bet, one's 50 free spins, the others are £6 high betting offer, and then there's an in-play offer as well. So it's just with regards to that, I would say take the £5 free bet. It's guaranteed money from it. You'll make £4 so from that £5 free bet. But the thing to remember with Sky is that their free bets have now got an expiry date on them. They never used to. They were infinity for usage, but they've clamped down on that and made them 7 days now, I believe it is, Simon, isn't it, for their free bets?
How many days was it? You broke up just when you were saying the important thing.
7 days, I think it is now, isn't it,
Only
for Sky
7
Bet
days?
to be? Yeah.
That's far worse than infinite, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a very poor
It was
show.
much more fun. It
certainly
was. But yeah, like Simon said, just opt into the bet clubs where you need to. I think from memory, it's been a while since I used them. I think Paddy, Sky, you have to opt into. I'm trying to think of the other ones you have to opt into these days. But a lot of them that you do with regards to that side of things. But definitely worth doing. Just have a double check of the terms and conditions from there. But there's no extra charge for being part of their bet club at all. It's one of the bonuses of being with a bookmaker.
Yeah. So I don't think you've answered this one as I was waffling on. So this is a good question. So with the offers, I feel like I tie all my money up doing one offer, and sometimes the odds are really high. Am I going wrong somewhere? There are several things to do. I mean, there's the solution here is one of them. So thank you for that. So I give a miss to some of the offers if they take too much liability or take a bit lower odds. So a few things here. Obviously, the more money you have in your betting bank, the more offers you can do at the same time, and the less you need to be concerned about liability being tied up. So if you can end up with, you can work towards having, a couple of £1,000 in your exchange balance, then that's a nice tidy amount to be using for offers. Other things you can do, obviously, you can go for lower odds, qualifying bets. Go for close to minimum odds to lower the liability. Free bets, you want to go for a little bit higher odds, sort of at least 4 really. 5 and above, I tend to go for between about sort of 6 and 10 was kind of my ballpark. I'd go for 6 to 12 maybe for free bets. But if you go for slightly lower odds, you can make slightly less profit, but it's going to have a lot less liability if you go for those lower odds. Other things you can do is choose what you're betting on. So obviously, if you're betting on a football game that takes place in 3 days' time, your liability is tied up for those 3 days. If you bet on something, let's say on a Sunday, on a lunchtime football game for one of your bets, by the time that's settled, assuming it wins into the exchange, then you'll have your money back, your liability back. If it wins into the bookie, then you'll have that money in the bookie to use for another offer, or you can withdraw it and put it somewhere else. So it's going to be better to bet on something that's happening on the same day for lots of reasons. There's more liquidity in the markets, in the exchange markets, more money available. The odds tend to be better. It looks better to the bookmaker on your bookmaker account because, as far as I know, genuine gamblers, rather than match bettors, will tend to bet on the day of the event rather than 3 days before. So it makes you blend in a little bit more. And also because your liability is tied up for the smallest amount of time, basically, and the offer's done more quickly, basically. So a few different things you can do there. There's another thing you can do as well, a little bit more complicated. There's a tutorial about it, and it's called shared liability. So let's say if you're betting on horse racing and you bet on 2 different horses to win the same race, 2 different offers, 2 different bookies, and you lay them both. So the same race, you lay 2 different horses with the same exchange. Now, because you can only one of the horses can win the race, you can only lose one of the liabilities. So let's say you place your lay bet on the first bet, you get liability of £100, and then you place another lay bet on a lower odds horse, and the liability is, let's say, £80 for this one. And then what happens is the total liability is actually going to go down, the total exposure for that particular race, because if you lose the £100 liability, you don't lose the other liability, and in fact, you know, you get that liability back, and you also win the profit because you win that lay stake. So you actually, the money can go further with this. It's not something I necessarily concentrate on too much. You think, oh, okay, I must use my shared liability, but it can be really useful once you get used to it. So something to have a look at anyway. A bit more complicated, but well worth putting into consideration if you're a bit more restricted with money and you're betting on horse racing, or even with football. It's the same thing. If you lay two different teams, obviously with two different offers, or you lay one team to win and one team to draw in the same game, the match result market, then again, the liability is shared for that one, and the money goes a bit further for that one. So there you go. But our first comment from YouTube is this gentleman here. Good evening, Mr. Shepherd.
Good evening, James. It's a new name to us, that one, Simon.
Definitely a new name. Not seen that one before. So good evening, James, from in YouTube land.
Welcome.
Very strangely familiar name there. Right. Yeah. So let's have a look. Have we got another question here? So here we go. All right, comment.
Yeah. Okay, so I do Sky and Paddy clubs every week. I really need to get on Prize Boost though, but don't have the time to get on them before the odds change. The odds changing isn't too much of an issue as long as those back odds are still above what the lay odds are. You'll still make a profit from them. So if somebody posted, I don't know, England under 21s who have just won, ironically 3-0 this evening, if there'd been a price boost for them to win this evening at 2.5 that was posted at 9 o'clock this morning, and the lay odds were 2.3 for it, yep, that's a great little bit of guaranteed profit. But if you come to do that at 4 o'clock this evening and that price boost had dropped to 2.30, there's a very, very, very good chance that the lay odds would have dropped as well. And they'd have probably dropped to 2.1, 2.2, something like that. So there's still a profit to be made from there. All it's a case of doing is loading up the standard calculator, put in the lay stake, put in the back odds, put in the lay odds, and it will show you guaranteed profit for it. The only reason price boosts really drop is because the lay odds have dropped further from them on there. So it's given the true value of the odds, the gap has increased from there. So they'll just be adjusting that price boost to be in accordance with the lay odds that are now relevant for it. Basically, bookies have still got to make some profit from this, or at least minimize the loss possible with regards to it. So they'll have a percentage that they'll be looking at with regards to what the back odds are with the boost on there in comparison to what the lay odds are for it. So even though the odds may have changed, there's still probably a 90% chance that it'll still be a boost and still be profitable. Just have a quick check on the exchange with regards to that, and it'll tell you what the new lay odds are for it. And as long as those lay odds are still below that price boost back odds, you'll make a profit from it. So it'll be absolutely fine. Might not be as high as what it was originally, but it'll still be a little bit of profit to lock in with regards to that.
You tend to find that with price boosts, or if there's a bet that lots of people are placing lay bets on, that the odds will get worse. It's just the market's adjusting basically. If you put loads, it's like if you put loads of back bets on a particular outcome, the odds go down. And if you put loads of lay bets on, the odds tend to go up. So that's why you might find that the odds get worse. They start off quite good and then get worse and worse and worse. But they can return later. They can adjust later. So that's what can happen. So yeah, price boosts are they're normally pretty simple to do. What I'll do is I'll just sort of present and I'll go through how to do price boosts. Basically, feel free to chip in at any time, Chris. If I start to
no problem, mate.
Not that will ever happen, of course.
Here we go. Not in the slightest.
No, never, no chance of that. So here we go. So top sports relays of the day, and the second one down there is price boost. We will go through more of the traditional offers rather than price boost as well, but just this is in response to a price boost question, so might as well cover it now. So these guaranteed profit, they're nice offers. Like with anything, although they're offers put by the bookmakers, anytime you do an offer like a price boost or a free bet offer, it's not necessarily going to be good for your account health, because ultimately you're taking value from the bookie. But obviously we do need to be taking value from the bookie. That's what we do. So the point really is to, if somebody's going to go in and do lots of price boosts, take every single price boost available with Paddy Power, their accounts may not last a huge amount of time. So that's something to be aware of. Just maybe be a little bit cautious. So instructions here. Again, there's a video, a nice brief guide. There's not really much to price boosts. In essence, there are different sorts of price boosts that you can have. Some of them are a bit more complicated, just like that word was for me. And so there you go, price boosts, introduction. What's really nice here is down here we've got some quick links, and it shows where to find the price boosts on different websites. So pick your one at random. I'm going to pick Betfred, and it says that's where to find them. So daily price boosts, nice little picture, and the sort of the trail that you need to follow to get there. Ladbrokes, slightly different there, yeah. And then there are links wherever possible. If it's possible to put a link there to the website, we'll do that. So the office team have done a really nice job there. Tips and tricks here to have a look through at your leisure. Right, so that's price boosts, and where to find them. It should be a link from here, and so price boost. So there are two different threads. There's this one here, which is the price boost thread brackets no chat. Now the block capital letters are just to make the point. It's a no chat thread. It's basically to post your price boosts in, and because we don't want any chat in there. Otherwise, the prices get lost. A lot of people will follow the thread. So if I click on it, you can see this is the actual thread. So no chat, no questions. Again, big angry block capitals here. It's kind of trying to make the point. Not mentioned in an unpleasant way at all. It's just that if you have any chat in this, then anybody who's following the price boost thread, will get a notification, like a little notification up here, and they will say, "Oh, right, there's a price boost," and have a look at it, and it's just somebody saying the odds have dropped a bit, and so we don't want that. That's what the discussion thread is for, which is here. So if I just control click on that, it'll open in a new window, and you can discuss to your heart's content these here. There are 109,000 comments here, so I won't go through all of them, but you can see loads of comments here. So you can ask your questions there. You can tag the person you want to ask. So just to give you an idea of what a price boost looks like, people write them down in different formats, but in essence it's this. So Betfred, for example. So England under 21 to win both halves. Back odds were 4 and the lay odds were 3.9. All you need to do for this is you go to the regular or the standard calculator and you put in your stake. Let's say the maximum stake your stake was £10, or that's what you wanted to bet. Back odds 4, lay odds 3.9, and you lay £10.26. You lock in an almighty 25p profit. Now, that's not necessarily the stake limit. Sometimes there might be a £100 limit, £50 limit, and obviously the profits go up then because it's scaled up. It's 5 times higher than it would have been with a £10 stake. So that's a nice simple one. And so that's a basic price boost. There are some different ones, and people will sometimes put comments about underlaying. That's something to learn about later on. And sometimes you get quite a big stake that you can put on it. So Betway boost, maximum of £128. Then that's a really good maximum with decent boost there. There are other ones as well, which I'll try to find, which are a bit more complicated, which I won't really go into in too much detail here. Where are we? The multi-lay calculator. This is an example. This is one of our staff, Vlad here. And so Coral and Ladbrokes, Sabalenka or Anjabor to win the ladies singles title. And that's odds of 6. So to win the ladies singles title, this one you'd have your liability tied up until the end of the tournament. So it's to be think about really carefully whether you want to tie up that liability. It's for people with plenty of bankroll who can just afford this. But the point is really, it uses a slightly different calculator with this one. So multi-lay calculator, again, there's a link there. So you click on that and you'd fill this in here. So what you do there is you have the back odds are 6 here. So back stake, let's say, as you say, £10, I think. Yeah, per £10. The back odds are 6, and then the lay odds, outcome 1. I'm not going to type in the names. Outcome 1 is on Jabeur, which is 21. Odds of 21 to win. So that's that one. And the other one is Sabalenka, 7.2. There, 7.2. Okay. And then, as you can see, £1.21. So true to form, it's £1.21 there. Now, this can be a little confusing when you do. So basically what you do here is it's a simple case. If you back the bet like the bookmaker, which is either player to win, odds of 6, and then you lay the top one, which is Jabeur, which at 21, and then you lay Sabalenka at 7.2 the exchange, just in the overall winner, the tournament winner markets. These are the lay stakes, £2.86 for this one, £8.33 for the other one. And the total liability is £48.87. What's a little bit confusing is that this £48.87 will be lower than either of the two individual liabilities that you see on, if you're doing this at the same exchange anyway. I would do this at the same exchange because then you get this shared liability that I mentioned before. So if the total liability looks a bit weird, it's because basically, if you lose one of the lay bets, you'll win the other one. You can only have one player winning the tournament, so you can only lose one liability. If you lose that liability, you win the other lay stake. Yeah, so that's why this is a bit odd. But that's one of the more complicated ones. Sometimes you might get two different horses to win two different races, in which case you could lay on with a Smarkets multiple, basically. So it can be a little bit more complicated, but again, you just use the regular match betting calculator for that. And as I said, any questions about it, if you go to the top here, there's a link to the Price Boost discussion thread. There's also a how to do Price Boosts guide and an FAQ for this as well. So lots of bases covered, lots of reading. The forum's absolutely great for finding information. I used to live on that a lot of the time before I started working. In fact, even after I started working here, I was on it all the time. So there you go.
Yeah, and so then there's the other price as well that Sky like to send out during the football season, where they'll do a Saturday or Sunday special of 3 teams to win over that. The beauty of this one is that Matt, who we've got 0% commission with as well, will have an enhanced special put up for these. So let me just quickly get the Sky one up. So the first game of the season, Premiership, are coming up on the 12th of August. So not long to wait now, guys, with regards to that. It's in their football section, I believe. They've moved it again. That's nice one. But yeah, there is one at the moment. I'll do a share of my screen. Share screen. I'll do it from. And just simply in Matchbook, they do, which will be shown down on the left-hand side if you're doing it on a laptop. If you're doing it on your phone, you just go into the menu and scroll through, and there's an enhanced specials part on there. But they'll have the soccer specials that are there, which is for Arsenal, Man City, Man United, and Liverpool all to win on the first game of the season, which has got lay odds of 7.6 with regards to that. I will quickly flick over to Sky and see if I can find that price boost. I was on here the other day because I did want that one. Sky being Sky, they love changing where they put things, which really doesn't help with regards to that side of things. But I know that the odds for this were at 8 because, as I say, I've already got the bet on at the moment, which is there at the bottom. The Arsenal, Man City, Manchester United, Liverpool all to win was 5-1. Now been boosted to 8, and as you can see on MacBook, that's at 7.6. So all we do with regards to that is quickly go on to the calculators, the calculator for this, type in a back stake. It will vary on how much you can get on as your back stake with regards to this. Sometimes it's £10, sometimes it's £20, sometimes there's no limit. So it's just a case of trying and testing what it is with regards to that. But I say back odds for this are 8. The lay odds are 7.6, 0% commission. We're going to make 50p for every £10 that we can get on for that bet. So again, it's a nice little guaranteed profit. And as we were saying with regards to the bet clubs as well, it would go towards your £30 worth of bet club funding that you need to do with Sky in order to qualify for their free bet at the end of every week. So it's a win-win situation. No qualifying loss for it. 50p profit from that side of things, and also a third of the way into your entry of a £5 free bet. Now we do get asked quite a bit with regards to, oh, it's only 50p, oh, it's only 25p, oh, it's only 10p. The thing to remember with price boosts with regards to this is that if you can get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 price boosts on during the day for literally a few seconds work, because the guys post them in the forum, that's £4 or £5 a day guaranteed profit that you're making, as well as adding towards the bet clubs as well. £4 or £5 a day over the 30 days for the month, £150 a month. It's just short of £2,000 a year just from doing simple price boosts, which again pays for a holiday, as we've talked about on many of our videos prior. It's all the small little increments adding up that make the bankroll with regards to that side of things, and bring your bankroll up to a level you can go on to the higher offers from that side of things.
Absolutely, yeah. So price boosts are great, aren't they, Chris? They're a nice, as you say, a nice quick earner, a quite nice quick way to make money, not often just with the standard calculator.
Yeah, so 9 times out of 10, it is that standard calculator that you're using with regards to it. It's really easy to do.
Yeah, just in normal mode as well, because it's a cash bet, and the reason it's profitable is simply because the back odds are higher than the lay odds. So that's how those work. Probably a good idea now to go to some of the other sorts of reload offers that we have. Let's have a look. And where are we? So transition to reload offers, and then the top reloads of the day. So what I'll do is I'll just share the page again, share the screen again. Okay, so I have ended up with far too many tabs. Let's close some of those. Close some of these tabs. Get rid of some of this nonsense here. Right, there we go. Okay, so top sports reloads of the day, and yeah, at the moment there's no football. There is football. That's not true. I think the Norwegians are still playing their leagues, and so they got theirs. But
the under 21, under 21s are playing as well.
Yep. So there will be some. Maybe some internationals, some friendlies, some foreign leagues that are less high profile, but there's not as much football by any means. So if you're doing any offers, let's say a reload offer or even a sign-up offer where you need to do accumulators, accumulators on football, I would personally suggest waiting until the football season starts in August to do those. If you've already started them, yes, you can go ahead and do them, but I think it's probably better to wait. But there are other things that other sports that take the place of football in the sort of domestic sports calendar, and one of those is tennis. Obviously, Wimbledon at the moment. There are quite a lot of different tennis offers. For example, this one with Coral. lots and lots of horse racing offers throughout the year. That doesn't really let up. It just is kind of steady. There's lots and lots of offers on horse racing, and then even more when you get a big festival like Ascot or Goodwood, or particularly Cheltenham is the big one. And also the Grand National, the actual Grand National race, and also the festival, but mainly it's the Grand National race where there are sort of good offers on there. So you see lots of tennis offers.
A couple of festivals coming up for race night. Say Goodwood's on its way. The York Ebor's coming up very shortly as well. So there's more festivals still to go through the year, but obviously, like I say, some not as prestigious as what Ascot, Cheltenham are, but there'll still be a lot more offers going around with regards to that over the coming weeks as well.
Yeah. So I mean, bookmakers like to keep people using the site. They like to keep offering free bets because it makes they're kind of lost leaders. They expect people to go on and do the free bet offers and also do other bets as well. We often disappoint them in that respect by mainly doing the free bet offers, but that's our game. Obviously, we're trying to make a profit from these. You've got golf as well, and quite a few golf offers. Cricket, some nice cricket offers. There are some in-store offers as well. If you can get to a William Hill store, there are some decent offers there, and some accumulator offers as well. So tennis accumulators, some of them get a bit more complicated. You've got something like a tennis accumulator. It's a nice profit, but some of the offers you might have a look at it and go, I prefer a different offer than those ones. So just have a think about it. With tennis, really important as well is that I'll show you this one to start with. So the tennis, this one here, this is an in-play offer, and so as with any in-play bets, you can't use. You need to find your bets manually for this one. So there's a guide about in-play betting here as well. How to find your bets manually, finding in-play bets there as well. So a nice guide there. There's also a guide that I think I wrote at some point about mainly sort of football in-play offers, and that's on the forum. There's lots of good stuff on the forum as well, and that's kind of my tips, or the tips that we've come up with for betting on in-play football, kind of wait till half time, and things to do there. So that's in the tip of the day archive here is where that is. So for this one, and this one we've got the Coral Tennis. This is the key. They'll always mention this. So the Coral Tennis retirement rules do match up with the exchanges, so you can lay off your bets. So basically, you can back and lay your bets as normal, as you normally would, laying on any of the exchanges. However, there are some offers where you can't do that. LiveScore is one of them. So LiveScore, as it says, the LiveScore bets tennis retirement rules do not match up with any of the exchanges. What that means is you need to Dutch your bets if you use the match winner market. So this one is not in play. No, it is in play. It says it's in play there. Maybe I think you get the free bet. And yeah, so the free bet needs to be used in play. The £10 qualifying bet doesn't. So as it says here, it's only the match result market where the rules don't match up. You set betting, so whether let's say in men's game, whether a player wins 3-1, 3-2, that's the set betting market, and so you can lay those bets within exchange. So it's a good idea, I would suggest, with the qualifying bet for this one, to use the set betting market. Then you don't have to Dutch your bets. In play betting, you will probably find that you're going to need to use the match result market, which you'd have to Dutch your bets for. So a little bit more complicated with this one. So this is not for the faint-hearted, probably, this one. But what I will do is I'll click on this link here. So view which bookies you can Dutch with here, and it's the tennis retirement rules. Basically, any bookies that are in this type 1, this rule type 1, you can lay at the exchange. You can see all the exchanges are here: Betfair Exchange, Coral, for example. Sorry, Coral. Smarkets and Matchbook are there, so you can lay with those. And Coral are, because that's the offer that I was looking at to start with. LiveScore bets, if you're going for the match result market, you can't. What you would need to do is you'd have to Dutch your bets with one of the other exchanges. Sorry, one of the other bookmakers here. And what that is basically, if you're Dutchy on tennis, there's either one player wins or the other player wins. What you do is you'd back one player with on the bookmaker that you're doing the offer with, and you'd back the other player with another bookmaker. So 2 back bets. Either one player wins or the other player wins, but they have to be from this same group, and you'd have to use the Dutching calculator. I'll very briefly show you that. It's a bit more complicated, but it's just to show that it is possible to do this. But you do need, if you're placing 2 back bets, you need to use the Dutching calculator, and there's a guide for it as well. So that's what you'd use for this. And so that's one of the little quirks with tennis that you need to be aware of. But it always mentions it here, so just make sure you read through the guides fully for this one. What sort of other offers have we got then that Chris?
I mean, we've done videos on them previously. The horse racing refunds are absolutely great as reload offers. As Simon sort of mentioned earlier on, the extra places are a bit more advanced, and so are the 2-up ones. The 2-up's not overly advanced. It's just the different permutations and different ways of doing it that make it a little bit more difficult, and you'll get thrown 101 different bits of advice from everybody with regards to that. I do mine differently to how some of my friends do it, and they do it differently to how some of their friends do it. So it's just finding a way for that. But 2-ups, obviously the football season's still 3 or 4 weeks away yet. So I think that's something we'll cover more in another live stroke video for you guys with regards to that on how to do 2-ups, the best ways of doing them, so on and so forth. And I know there's a couple of blogs that are coming out over the next couple of weeks as well with regards to 2-ups and such like. So we'll leave that for another time. But yeah, horse racing, probably the easiest one to do, which I know Simon's done a lot of videos with Andy with regards to that side of things. But yeah, all the horse racing refunds for that day are always shown in the forum. There's normally 1 or 2 bookies that have got something on for that for the day. Like today was Betfred and Jeff Banks, I believe, was the other one. Was it, Simon?
Yeah, I'm just scrolling through them now. We've got Betfred, Jeff Banks, QuinnBet, Boyle Sports, QuinnBet again, Bet Goodwin, Rosebet. So they tend to be better towards the top for these ones. And so, yeah, nice offers available. And
really simple to do. You can do it the way that myself and Andy do it, which is just literally the back and lay either the first or second favourite, whichever one's got the closest match for it, and hope that you get the refunds for the horse finishing in second, third, fourth place, whatever the offer may be for that. Or you can go on and use the horse refund calculator and lock in a guaranteed profit, which Simon's just showing the link for there. But we also have done the videos for that previously, which if you just go into our forum and search Facebook and scroll down for the Facebook Lives, all of the videos that we've done previously are on there. Or if you can't find them at all, just drop a message into support@outplay.com, which is our email address, and our customer service team, which includes myself and Simon, or send you the relevant videos that for you to watch. If you're struggling to find them at all, there's no problem on that side of things. All the recordings are there for it. But yeah,
I mean, they just sorry, Chris.
Go on. No, go on, Simon. Carry on.
Forum. So basically, go to the forum, and then under announcements, so general announcements, and then they're all there. So that's where they are. Just go to the original post, and that's where we add them all. So there you go. That's the most recent one. Sorry, Chris. Nice. Over to you again.
So like we were saying at the start, I mean, a question that we get asked a lot in customer service of what do you guys do to continue making your profits? What do I do after I've done all the sign up? Surely there's nothing else to do. you'll be surprised the amount of emails that you will start to get through once you've signed up from bookmakers of do this offer with us, or if you do this with us, we'll give you this. There's this promotion today for it. It is just ongoing. Bookmakers like supermarkets, there's so many of them out there. They've got to find a way of taking your money from you. And if that's doing a lost leader of bet £10 today and we'll give you a £10 free bet, absolutely fine. They don't, but they know that match betting exists. Yeah, they're not that stupid. One or two of them might be, but we won't go into that on that side of things. But yeah, they'll just treat them as losses because 90% of the people they'll be sending those emails out to will be just your normal gambling punter that will just go, oh, they're giving me a £10 free bet. Brilliant. I'll stick £10 on the football match I was going to do anyway, but I might as well do it with Coral because they're giving me something to go with it. They're basically getting a buy one, get one free for it, is the way that your normal punter will see it on that side of things. So they will just keep on throwing offers at you continuously with regards to that. But we also have the added advantage of a absolutely superb offers team that go hunting every single day for offers that are out there and get them posted up on our site, which is normally, like I say, Simon said earlier, we say 11 o'clock in the morning, just in case there's any technicalities that they want to iron out and make sure that the terms are right for the offer that's being posted. But they're normally there by 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning for people to get onto. So there's offer after offer on there. And then on top of that, there's also absolute superb members that will post offers into the forum that they've actually found out there that we may have missed. End of the day, our office team are only human. They will find 99% of the offers, but there's also offers that will come through that our members will find, and they'll post them on the forum as Simon's locating on there now. And again, that might be a case that they've had an email through from a bookmaker, and it might be unique to just them, but it also might be a general one that just hasn't hit the masses for some reason. So it's always worth having a check on there as well, because there's always a backup. And then the offers that are generated, our members again will find the best matches that are out there. Our forum is one of the best forums I've seen with regards to that. It's an absolute brilliant community, all with the same objective of trying to make as much profit as possible, as easily as possible, as well. And if they can put 10 seconds of their time into posting an offer, a price boost that they found for another 20, 30 members to jump on, they'll do so. And that's just the community spirit that we've got at Outplayed. It's second to none. It really is.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, just quickly with the or briefly with the horse racing refunds. So Chris mentioned the two, the Betfred and the Jeff Banks one. Mentioned here the racing refund calculator, which is one way you can lock in a profit. Now, you have to be careful for this because this is for refund if second, or refund if second or third, refund if second, third or fourth. So like this one is fine. So your horse finishes second, that's fine. You could use a racing refund calculator. You lay the horse to win, and you also lay the horse in the two-place market. You'd have to find an exchange that has the two-place market. But if you can do that, you can lock in a profit with that as long as the odds are good enough. This one the same. Horse finishes second. Racing refund calculator is fine for this one. Now there's here below this point offers with a smaller chance of occurring, but worth doing if you can find close matches. As it says, for the second to the starting price favourite offers, do not bet on the favourite because you can't win the free bet, because your horse can't be second to the starting price favourite if you bet on the starting price favourite. But more, what is the point with this one is you can't use the racing refund calculator for this because it's your horse finishes second or third and the starting price favorite needs to win. So these two things need to happen. Any of these, you have to do the back lay and hope, basically. So you back and lay for a small qualifying loss and hope for this one, Boyle Sports, you hope that your horse is second to the starting price favorite. Now, the starting price favorite is the most likely horse to win. They often will win. They often won't win. It just makes it a less good offer than a free bet if your horse finishes second. So obviously, the horse finishes second at all, not just the start price favorite. You could have an outsider winning. You could have the second favorite winning, and if your horse is second, you'll still get the free bet. Well, with this one, it has to be second the start price favorite, and as I said, you can't use the racing refund calculator, but they're worth doing if you can get a small qualifying loss for them. They are decent offers. They're not to be ignored. Those ones.
No, but the other sort of warning with regards to that side of things as well is that if you're hoping for your horse to be second to the starting price favourite, you might think, I'll go for the second favourite. Absolutely great. When you place the bet, that horse is the second favourite. However, a lot of money goes into that horse during the day, and it suddenly becomes the favourite when the race is about to start. You won't get a refund because your horse has become the favourite in that race. So it's a bit of an offer that you just got to be very, very wary of. And I wouldn't be doing it unless I was placing the bet literally a couple of minutes before the off, just to avoid that possibility that's there with regards to that side of things.
Yeah. So yeah, a few different offers there. The horse racing refunds, as you can see, it's down as one offer, but there are lots of offers within that. Extra places are more advanced. There are instructions. There are lots of instructions, so that's something to look at later. Once you're really experienced with these horse racing refunds, 2-up offers, great offers, and they're again to come to a little bit later. So yeah, but there are other offers as well, which are a lot of them very, very similar to the sign-up offers. Some of them will be accumulator offers. Some of them will be in play. You tend not to have sign-up offers in play. Makes a slight difference to it. But a lot of them are just bet £20, get £5 free bet, just the same as a sign-up offer. And yeah, can be done in 2 races. So guaranteed profit of £7. Now, when we say guaranteed profit, it doesn't mean it sounds like you're absolutely guaranteed. You know, we put a rubber stamp on it, say you will get £7 on this offer. That's not quite what it means. It means it's a guaranteed profit offer. You can lock in a profit, and we believe it's realistic to make £7 plus on it, but you might only make £6.50. You might make £7.50. It's just kind of a guide. So that's what that means. Basically, it's just a guide of how much guaranteed profit you can make, because it's one you can lock in a profit on. So it could say locked in profit, a lock in profit estimate £7. It's just a bit tidier, call it guaranteed profit. Yeah, so some of them are not guaranteed profits. Some of them will be estimated value, like this one here. Still worth doing. This one's bet £5, get a potential £2 casino bonus if your horse loses. So they might say, well, my horse has got to lose, and I've also got to make money from the bonus. If you do these in the long term, their value is about £1.74 for this one. So it's definitely going to be worth doing in the long run, although you can't lock in a profit on it. So yeah, the few different offers we've got there, and then there's always going to be a write-up for it. You will get this sometimes. I'm pleased this happened. A 404 error, which means it can't be found, and that's because it's not available anymore, basically. If you ever get that, let's say you've done this offer and you go, oh, hang on, I want you to see the terms for this one. If you click on that, as you can see, even I can't see it, and I work here. So rather than
Allegedly.
yeah, rather than being offended by it, what you can do, let's have a look. So it's the William Hill, bet £5, get a £5 free bet in store. Go on the forum, go to Sports Reload offers and into the archive. That's where all of the old offers are put. Scroll down until you find this one. It says it's the search is okay on the forum. So if I go for this, let's test the search out. So there is a search, just use the search button there, type this one in, and in store. Hang on. There it is. And maybe that's another one until 5 o'clock on the. Yeah. So this is the offer, I believe, and that's it. I think. Let's have a look. Israel versus England under 21s. Obviously, you can't qualify for that because the game's already taken place. But you can have a look in the archive. I'm not sure why it's listed there, not as the archive. But there we go.
Probably
so that
just been moved over.
It's probably just been moved, so I can see it as admin, and it won't be visible to anyone else. But it will be in the archive, either now or later on. So yeah, you'll see it. So scroll down, you can see any of the old offers down here. Really, really useful. In store, there it is. Or not. It's a different one. But anyway, the point is the archive is great for finding the old offers, basically. So yeah, that's one of them. In-store offers, accumulator offers. Again, you've got the guide there, and read the instructions there. So some of them may be a little bit more complicated. So accumulator with tennis might be a little bit more advanced. So you might want to favour a different offer instead. And other offers are going to look at sort of offer. Yeah, the other ones, the other sort of offers which the bookmakers really like, if I can find one, are the. Where are they? They like their bet builder offers, although I can't find one at the moment. Here you go. This is the in-store offer I found. So it's here it goes again. Let's try this again. Let's try the search. Go around in circles here.
As if you ever would, Simon.
Not at all. In store. Here we go. A bet builder offer. It's not that one, is it? Anyway, some bookmakers will offer bet builder offers, and there's a nice guide for them, which I'll go to, since I can't find an actual one at the moment. Little tip here for finding this. This is the training section. So offers training section. It's got some great information in it. So this is the training section. I'm going to do Control F, and that brings up a little search box on my browser. If you do this on the forum, it normally brings up another search box, which is for the forum, and then you do Control F again, and it brings up the actual browser search box, which is, this is for Chrome for me. So if I type in bet builder, start typing that in, it automatically goes down to the stage. That's the part here. It's not something we've built into the site. It's something you can use on bookmaker sites. You can use it on our site as well. It's just a really quick way of finding something rather than scrolling down. Nice guide here for how to back and lay bet builders. A bit more detailed than a lot of the other ones, so 16 minutes. But that's a good thing because there's lots of information there. Written information as well with some nice pictures of what these look like. And there's also a really good thing. Our own Ollie made this. He made the Bet Builder Helper, which is a lovely bit of kit, which is here. And what you could use it for, let's say you've got a William Hill, one that I was trying to find. You select your bookmaker of choice, William Hill. I'm not sure how many selections it was. Let's say it was minimum 3 selections. And what it shows you is this is what to create, how to create your bet. So you create your bet here. For this one, for example, you'd select a team to win. You can't use the draw for William Hill or for this particular combination. Both teams to score yes and over 2.5 match goals. So you select those 3 different selections as your bet builder, and then the lay bet is just winner and both teams to score. If you click on this, it shows you how to lay this with the different exchanges, how they look. So basically, it's winner and both teams to score, match odds and both teams to score, match result and both teams to score. The same thing. And in any case, it's Liverpool and again. This is if your team to win was Liverpool and you selected these other 2 as well. You'd bet on that. So it's a really nice one. And then you can again go to a different one, Paddy Power, 2 selections, and you get some different options here. Sometimes it'll be a correct score. The thing to be aware of with the correct score is, let's say it's Liverpool at home and Man City away. So Liverpool versus Man City. The first team mentioned in the score is the home team. So for this one, if you were to do team to win Liverpool, under 1.5 match goals, it will be 1-0 correct score, be this one. If you were going for Manchester City as the team to win, they're the away team, you'd have to choose 0-1. Now, normally you can tell the difference with the odds, but sometimes they're fairly evenly matched teams, and sometimes the odds can be fairly similar. So just make sure that the one that you're going for here is the team that you're backing to win, whether that's the home team in this position or the away team in that position. Hopefully that makes sense. So there you go.
Yeah, be a lot of them coming up for the football season. 888 are normally the best one for doing that. They do a brilliant offer of bet £10, and if it loses, get a £10 free bet back for it, which is one of the best offers out there with regards to that. So just noticing the time, Simon, if we take this one last question on here, so I think it ties up things quite nicely from what we've gone through this evening. So hi guys, great live show. Appreciate the feedback on that to start off with. Where's the money made for the larger horse events such as Cheltenham? I watched on one of your videos, share my age, is through refund offers, or is the better choice extra places? Quick, simple answer to that is it depends on your bankroll. It really does with regards to that. Refund offers, like I say, you can lock in the guaranteed profit from them, or you can do the backlay and hope side of it. Extra places is obviously where the bigger money is available for it, because you can put whatever stake level you wish to do so with regards to that. However, the qualifying losses will be a lot bigger as well. So it is all down to your bankroll from that side of things. Refund offers are normally £10 as a general rule with regards to that. However, Sky were doing £20 up to £20 over Ascot for the refund races. Star Sports were doing up to £50. We're doing bet 50, get £25 back as a refund, and then Jeff Banks were doing ridiculous offer of bet 200, and I believe it was £50 free bet back with regards to that. So it really does depend on your bankroll from that side of things. Yes, the bigger money is in the extra places, but it's also where the bigger losses can happen as well. But we know over time that doing extra places, it is EV plus with regards to that. Again, the videos are available to watch that Andy has done a lot of time on. He's our extra place guru from that side of things. So yeah, it is just literally down to bankroll. I think that's about all we can really say with regards to that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd add it's down to experience as well. Kind of goes without saying, it's a more advanced offer. So we've already gone through that. So if you need to be pretty confident or very confident using betting on horse racing, basically, before even thinking about going for extra place offers. If it's your first Cheltenham, you're probably wanting predominantly, especially if you're fairly new to match betting, it's probably going to be horse racing refunds pretty much all the way, I would say. Andy does lots and lots, as Chris says, lots and lots of extra place offers. That's his thing. It's where he makes a lot of money from. But I did some of the Facebook lives with him, and he says basically he will do, he will be silly not to, do a simple horse racing refund as well. Jump on that one, get that horse racing refund done for a few pounds, even though it's not the big money that you make with the higher stakes, at least with the extra places. It's locked in profit. It's a nice offer. If you can find it nice and quickly, you might as well. So you can do both. Less experienced people smaller bankrolls are going to be definitely best advised to do the horse racing refunds mainly or totally. People with a high bankroll with more experience could do both, or they might, people betting lots and lots of money will probably pretty much just be doing the horse racing extra places, because even though an offer on a horse race refund might be fairly quick to do, they might think, well, actually, I'd rather just get another extra place offer because the value is just so much more with it. But extra place offers are much higher variance, and you can't lock a profit in on them, certainly not easily. There is a theoretical way of doing it, but I'm not going to get into that. It probably won't work in practice. I create this flashy thing that's, we can try that. And yet in theory it works. You need to lay on some different place markers and back on place markers, stuff like that. In theory, it works, but in practice, basically, you can just say that extra place offers, you can't lay them. And it's basically quite a high variance offer because you put a bet on, you've got a £2 qualifying loss, let's say, and you've got about a 1 in 12, 1 in 15 chance that your horse is going to hit the extra place. You're going to get lots and lots of qualifying losses, but when you hit the extra place, you make a nice big profit. And the whole point of doing it is if you get decent implied odds, decent enough odds, basically, look at the guides. If you do that and consistently do them again and again and again, in the long term, you are going to be making profit from them. You'll make loss, and then a nice, really big profit. Okay, so that's how they work.
I think the last thing to close with is that obviously there's a transition to casino offers as well, which we haven't touched on this evening. Main reason being is that, unfortunately, guys, you've got to put up with myself and Simon again next Wednesday, where we're going through the more complex casino offers that are available to members that are on the Diamond package and how they work. And part of that is sort of a transition over to the casino reloads as well. So that's why we haven't touched on that side of things this evening. But yeah, next week you've got to put up with myself and Simon again, and we'll go through the transition on casino offers along with the more complex casino offers that are available as well.
This comes with good news though, because next week it is myself and Chris. Sorry about that. The following week and the week after, you have the wonderful Andy and Oz with a couple of sessions, one after the other. So that's something to look forward to.
It certainly is.
But yeah, as Chris says, casino offers are great. As I said, I tend to advise people to focus on sports offers to start with, but some people say, I'd really like to do casino as well. Absolutely fine. And feel free to join us next week if you want to for the advanced casino offers, although we are going through the slightly more advanced ones. You can come on and ask some questions there if you want to. But yeah, they are worth doing. But I would tend to say there's plenty to be getting on with, as we've shown already, with reload offers and with sign-up offers, with just the sports offers to start with. If you want to do casino offers as well, absolutely great. Obviously, there's a more expense with the membership, but there's an awful lot more value that you get from casino offers and sports as opposed to just the sports. So they are worth doing. But not for everybody. Not everybody wants to do them, but I found them really beneficial. I didn't do many apart from the risk-free ones for a couple of years probably, but then started doing them and found that they were really, really nice, profitable. So yeah. Yes, there you go.
I think that's us for this evening then, guys. Thanks so much for taking the time out to either watch the live or watch the recording when you come to watch it. If there's any further questions that you've got at all, then obviously drop an email into ourselves or jump onto live chat or onto our Facebook side of things or even onto the forum, and we'll happily answer any questions that may come to light when you've gone away with regards to this. So thanks so much for your time, guys.
Thanks very much, and thanks for your appreciation. Then appreciate it, your comments. So thanks ever so much. We do appreciate the good feedback. It's always nice to see that somebody's watching it live, and also hopefully on the replays as well. We don't know how many people watch the replays, but yeah, they're available. And as I said, I will add this to the list of different Facebook lives that are available, and then you can catch it later if you missed the start or you want to go over anything, because we've touched on quite a lot of different points. And we have a fan here who is satisfied that we were okay and going to come back next week for us. More punishment, if you like. So yeah, we'll see you next week.
Remember to send some money over to their bank account later on.
Definitely. There's probably staff there just saying that. But anyway, you're more than welcome. And yeah, have a good one.
Guys.
Have a great evening, everyone.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.